Okay, great, we're recording. Super. So thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your evening tonight to be on our Body Electric weekly webinar. I'm actually going to share a little bit of a PowerPoint just to get us started. I wanted to have something to follow for our weekly announcements before I get kind of, deep into diving into my Facebook Messenger. So let me first and foremost get this pulled up so that it's ready to share. Okay. Okay, great. So this is all new to me. We're almost there. Here we go. Okay, so again, thank you so much for being on here tonight. We're going to dive into my Facebook Messenger. I really was thinking about, topics that we could cover related to inviting people or forming with people. And I thought, it's probably just a lot easier for me to just open up my Facebook and just show you a little bit about how I handle my conversations. Hopefully it's helpful. I have had no run through with this. I just kind of glanced at some conversations I've been having, and I was like, I think these would be decent enough to share. So I'll share them with you. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to try to find some other examples after the fact. So let's dive into some of our announcements. The first thing is we are in the last, 26-ish hours, 27 hours of March. So if you have not secured 3 Lives Club, you're pushing hard, I know you are, to make it happen. It's not too late. Even if you have 0 points on the board, you have to look at this as 3 people that you're able to help in the month of March, 3 people that you're able to help by the end of the day tomorrow. So don't give up on it. Do not give up on the fact that maybe you're not quite at 3 Lives Club yet. I need you to help make it happen. I'm here for you if you need any help from me. Also, I just wanted to give you an overview of some upcoming dates for April. I'm going to be uploading our official April calendar to the team page tomorrow as our cover photo. But just before then, I'll let you know now, next week we'll be starting our coach internship. So that will be our usual 7-day coach internship. April 11th, which is the following week, will be our challenge group. I guess you could say our featured challenge group for the month of April, which is the Masters Hammer and Chisel. We're going to be starting an all-new group for that. If you have challengers for 21-Day Fix or Fix Extreme, or any miscellaneous groups, like if you have a size challenger or something sort of off the cuff, people can, those challengers can be placed into our Operation 21-Day Fix group. If you have people who are wanting to do 22-minute hardcore, they can obviously go into our hardcore boot camp. And of course, Deborah is leading a really great PIO group right now for people taking advantage of the PIO Challenge Pack special. So we've got a few different groups floating around. They're going to continue to exist and be awesome. We just have a new group starting on April 11th for the Masters Hammer and Chisel. And then the last Monday of the month will be our next live look into coaching Facebook event. I think hopefully you agree with me that our last one this past week, 2 days ago, was freaking awesome. I think we had a lot of really great energy. We've obviously had as of tonight, about 10 new coaches signed just since Monday. I have had my notification in my online office said we have 27 new coaches in our organization this week, which is pretty fantastic. We're really sort of exploding in a sense. So congrats to you for building the momentum, for inviting people to the sneak peek that we had, and just be keeping it on your radar for our next one for April 25th. So some more announcements. This coming weekend is a big weekend for us. Saturday night, we're having a diamond dinner celebration for those of you who achieve diamond and have a solid diamond rank as of tomorrow morning. So we'll see if we have any new sparklers to share tomorrow. That's happening Saturday night. And then on Sunday, April 3rd, from 1 to 4 at the Ritz Charles in Carmel is, of course, our Super Sunday event. I recommend getting there maybe about 12:30. Just get there a little early, grab a good seat. If you do not have a ticket yet, the ticket link is live. You can go to tbbindiana.com. You can grab your tickets. You can still grab them now. So Summit, hopefully you saw a couple of notifications that I've posted in the team page this week. If you're not on the wait list, I don't know what I need to do. I don't know if I need to go into child's pose or something to just show you how important it is to get on the Summit wait list. But I need you on the wait list for Summit because they're going to be pulling everybody off. But after March 31st, if you're not on that wait list, there's no guarantee you're going to get into Summit. So I need you to get on the wait list now. You can decide later if you have to change your mind, but I need you to get on there now. Don't change your mind, but I'm just letting you know that there's no risk. So the other thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned is that the Platinum Edge Conference in Dallas, Texas, I think it's September 23rd, that weekend. Fantastic conference. So Summit is sort of your corporate event that Beachbody puts on every single year. I think they're expecting like 25,000 coaches to just take over Nashville. Live workouts, lots of recognition for coaches and challengers, a really cool corporate event. The Platinum Edge is more training for a little bit more of a niche group. So it's a lot of Beachbody coach training on how to recruit, how to invite, how to follow up, how to work your social media. It's very specific to training you with very no BS, like a lot of just straightforward training. So I think both of them are super valuable to your business. So if you can get to both, I highly recommend it. So, okay, so let's go ahead and dive into Facebook Messenger. So I'm keeping it really casual tonight. Obviously, I want to make sure that I open this up for questions. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go through these conversations with you that I have here. And then at the end, I'll open it up for questions, just because I know we're going to have people hopping on late and I don't want to have to like mute and unmute and have to worry about all that. So I'm going to keep everybody muted until the very end, and then I'll open it up for questions. So my main takeaways for you tonight when it comes to Facebook Messenger, first and foremost, is Facebook Messenger should be your method of building relationships in this business. I don't see any other way aside from, having private conversations with people through your social media, whether it's Facebook, maybe Instagram. I'm not really familiar with Instagram, but social media is going to be your best avenue. And I don't just mean making public posts and commenting on people's photos and pictures and posts. I mean actually reaching out and having a conversation with people. I know it sounds a little scary, but I think it's by far the only way and the best way to build your business. So my 3 main takeaways for you tonight. Number 1 is to just keep it casual, kind of like we're keeping this webinar. Keep it really casual and be a freaking human. Don't worry so much about, having the right language or having all the details, or even in crafting the perfect message to send somebody. If you're worrying about all of that, it's probably not going to go so well. So I need you to keep things very casual. I need you to just reach out. What I like to call them is hey girl messages, or if you're a guy, yo bro messages maybe. So whatever works for you is going to be, is going to be best, because you're going to keep it casual and keep it true to you. So we're going to talk about that more, but just make sure you're remembering not to overthink these conversations. The second thing is this month's conversations that you're having are really next month's challengers and coaches. So even though you're having conversations now, it doesn't always pan out to be an actual customer or coach until later. So I just want you to know, because I know a lot of newer coaches can tend to get frustrated if they're not seeing an immediate return. Like if they reach out and talk to somebody and talk to them about a challenge pack and it doesn't happen right away, they get discouraged. That's actually how the business should work. You should be building a relationship so that eventually these people come around. That's how it should look. That's the more long-term investing side of the relationship you're building. Okay, and then last but not least is that your focus is always going to be in establishing trust, not in closing a sale. So your focus as you head into these conversations should be on how you can establish more trust with this person, not how you can get them to buy a challenge pack. Hopefully you can see the difference there. I actually listened to a podcast today. It's one of the newer Michael Hyatt podcasts. His podcast is called This Is Your Life. And the podcast I listened to today was How to Be a Better Conversationalist. And it's literally 6 or 7 tips on how to be a better conversationalist. Those same tips apply to your social media. So if you want extra resources aside from this webinar, I recommend checking out his podcast to hear more about that. So you have 3 types of prospects. I'm going to be referring to 3 different types of prospects when I'm sharing with you the people that I'm talking to, okay? So you have hot prospects, warm prospects, and cold prospects. And I realize that those sound very like salesy language, but I really couldn't come up with anything smarter in the moment. So this is what I'm using for now. So your hot prospects are people who see your posts, they've made up their mind that they want to order a challenge pack, and they come to you and they're ready to rock and roll. They say, okay, I want to be in your challenge group. What do I need to do? Those are the people when you're like, thank you, you know, you're like, this is awesome. Like, this is how I want all of them to go. Unfortunately, those are quite rare. In a lot of cases, we have to be building relationships, reaching out to people and having conversations. Most of the time, they don't come running to us hot, ready to order a challenge pack, but sometimes they do. So you have 3 types of prospects. The second type is a warm prospect, somebody who you've made contact with, but they're kind of on the fence, or you have the conversation that keeps recurring. You keep following up with them, but maybe they're not moving forward. I still consider those warm prospects because they've indicated interest. They just haven't decided yet. And then the third prospect is a cold prospect. In other words, somebody you haven't talked with at all. Somebody that you either know might be interested based on posts that they're making or things you've overheard at work or whatever the case might be. And it means that now is your time to really start reaching out and forming with them. I'm going to try to show you examples of all 3 of these tonight. So just a reminder, you are a relationship marketer. Okay, so just a reminder to you that I realize that you're a Beachbody coach, which is a really cool title, but essentially that means that you are a relationship marketer. And I also know that this is going to sound absolutely insane to you, but I've been thinking about it all day. My first year in the business, when I started working the business, someone told me this. Okay, so I thought, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm a Beachbody coach. I'm getting my health and fitness under control. I'm sharing it with people. In my mind, I thought I'm selling challenge packs, right? I'm selling Shakeology. Someone told me this exact thing. They said, hey, newsflash, you're a relationship marketer. You're a relationship builder. Relationship building is what you do for a living now as a coach. And when someone told me that, I freaked out because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't want to get to know anybody. So I had invested in this business. I had decided that I wanted to become a coach, but yet I didn't really care to get to know anybody. So I realize that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that shows you how far I have come in my personal development. So here's your plug for personal development. That shows you how far I've come in realizing that really this whole life, like if we're talking very broad spectrum, this life that we have to live is about our relationships, right? It's about how grateful we can be for the people who are around us, whether it's our family, our friends, or people we don't know yet. So if you're in a position where you're like, I don't really want to put myself out there, and I really want to get to know new people, and I don't really want to have to get to know people on a deeper level, then maybe this business isn't for you. But I'm telling you that I thought that was me. And when I started working on myself and I started embracing the fact that I was a relationship builder, my business exploded. But even more importantly, I would give this business up any day if it meant I could still keep the relationships that I have, right? Like the relationships that I've built now are so much more powerful. And I can tell you that your life will become better if you are building those relationships. So I just wanted to tell you that when we scale it all back, life is about relationships. So if this makes you uncomfortable, it's time for you to get uncomfortable because you need to be working on your relationship skills, your conversation skills, your social skills. Okay, so that's where we are. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm gonna stop screen sharing the PowerPoint. Hopefully this goes smoothly. And then I'm gonna start screen sharing my Facebook. I hope. Okay. Here we go. Okay, can you guys see my Facebook? Jennifer Tenney, you're on my screen. Can you give me a thumbs up if you see my Facebook? Okay, great. Okay, so we're gonna go into my Messenger. Okay. So I'm going to look up, I've kind of figured out who I wanted to, what conversations I wanted to show you. So some of these, and to be honest with you, I was gonna do everything through PowerPoint. And I thought, you know, I'll just screenshot these conversations. But the truth is that a lot of these conversations have been going on for so long that I didn't know where to screenshot the conversation. Like I was like, I'm not gonna take 7 screenshots of my conversation with Melissa. So I'm just gonna show you where it started. So Melissa is somebody that I met. She's, I think, honestly, she's my cousin, my mom's side of the family. She's my cousin's cousin, like on her other side of the family. So I got to meet her at like a family gathering type, or actually I think it was my cousin's wedding. It was my cousin's wedding. And she is a dance instructor in Louisville. She used to be an owner of a dance studio for little kids. So I met her at my cousin's wedding weekend. We friended each other on Facebook. This was in 2013, so we haven't talked or connected since then. But I reached out to her, I sent her a friend request, and then I messaged her on July 8th of 2013, and I said, hey, it was great seeing you this weekend. Thanks for the ad. Okay, we had a brief conversation at the wedding about what I do with fitness. She had a brief conversation with me about her dancing stuff. So anyway, she responds and she tells me, you too, I'm glad we officially met. Keep working out. And then that was it. I've been liking her posts. I comment on her posts. She just had a baby recently. So there's been a lot of things happening outside of Facebook Messenger where we just kind of briefly surface level touched base. So she posted this week that she's been able to lose 40 pounds since having her baby. She's lost 40 pounds. So I commented on her post and I said, girl, let's chat. Okay, does that sound like super intense and you have to give it a lot of thought? I hope not, because I literally just said, hey girl, let's chat. And she liked my comment. So I sent her this message. I said, congrats on the crazy cool transformation. She says, thank you. I said, are things going well as a new mom? She says, for the most part, Eli has colic and we can't figure that out, but everything else is good. I wish you guys lived and worked down here. I would totally be finding a way to work out with you. So I said, most people who work out with me do so virtually, so we can still make that happen. Okay, thumbs up. I said, are you doing any of your dance teaching? She says, yes, I started back in January. So then I said, very cool. Is that your primary source of exercise? She says, yes, it's my only source until Eli is old enough to go to whatever daycare, 6 months. So I said, have you ever considered an at-home workout? And then I said, P.S. my mom had me in dance until I was 12. I envy people to whom it comes naturally. I was an awkward, rigid dancer, which is true. I was a terrible dancer. So she says, it most certainly isn't for everyone. And yes, I've considered it. I did a few videos when he was a newborn, but lately he's been needing more attention. I do stroller walks when it's nice outside. And I said, oh, I love being outside. And then I said, what types of dance do you specialize in? So I want to stop right here. I hope you're noticing that I'm the one keeping this conversation going. I hope you notice that. I hope you also notice that I'm keeping it going because I'm asking her questions. So I'm getting to know her better. I'm kind of diving a little bit deeper. I could easily think to myself, I could tell myself this false story that she's probably not interested, and I could totally clock out, but I'm not. I've decided to keep going. So I ask her, what types of dance do you specialize in? And she writes back and she says, ballet, jazz, tap, but also hip hop. Ding, that makes me think of what? Size. So I say to her, awesome, we have a format that started on DVD, but now it's in live classes as well, and it's called Size. I've tried it, it's fun. She said, I'll check it out. So then I sent her the link to Size, and she wrote back, looks fun. I said, so fun, and this was at 10:30 this morning. So we've established, I'm showing you sort of like a relatively cold prospect, right? Like we haven't been having any conversations prior to this since 2013. I haven't seen her. So this is just sort of a cold prospect scenario. Most likely I'm going to respond to her tonight or tomorrow, and I'm going to let her know about, the size challenge groups that I run and see if it's something that she's interested in. Just because it sounds like she's giving me good positive cues, good feedback about what I'm sending her so far. Okay, so this is a scenario where it could have easily taken us a lot longer to get to this point. There could have been a lot more conversation involved about, dance or her family or anything else. But this is just a great example. This is just one that popped up this week that I wanted to share with you. So hopefully that particular one is helpful. Okay, the second one I want to show you, oh wait, I hit the wrong thing, is, okay. Becky EB. Some of these guys you're going to see on our team page soon. Okay, this is Becky EB. Her husband and my husband ran cross country and track together in college. I don't even know if I've ever met her. I actually know her husband a lot better than I know her. So they send us a Christmas card every year. We send them a Christmas card every year. And, I'm getting an unstable message. Okay. So she had indicated back in October, we've been friends for quite a while. She had indicated back in October, she posted commented on a post that I had made about Chris and I working out together, and said something about, I wish Joe and I could do this together, or something about that. So I wrote her a message and I said, are the EBs ready to beast up? With a wink, keeping it casual. She writes back, well, I'm ready. Don't know about the hubs. With the move and all kinds of life craziness, I've not been good about working out or eating as well as I should be. Tell me more about the challenge group. So that tells me that she's very familiar with the fact that I run challenge groups because I have not addressed it with her. So she knows based on my posts, right? So I write her back and I tell her, sure, everyone in the group will be choosing Body Beast or 21 Day Fix and drinking Shakeology daily. The group exists for accountability, program tips, recipes, and motivation. These groups are truly where the magic happens. I know you'll love it. I'm making an assumption that she wants in. I do that often. Probably a lot of you know that because I assumed with you that you were in. I would rather assume that you're interested than be like, well, let me know. You know, that kind of assumes that they're not going to be interested. So I say, these groups are where the magic happens. I know you'll love it. What is your ultimate goal? So she wrote me back, ultimately, I'd like to get stronger. I've been doing a pretty good job with getting a run in every day, but that's the extent of my workout. I also want to try Shakeology. Joey and I are vegetarians most days. I still eat seafood, and I think I'm missing out on some major nutrients. Understood. How much time per day do you have to commit to a workout? Because in my mind, at this moment in the conversation, I know she's already sold on Shakeology. She already wants to try Shakeology. So at this point, I need to get her really invested in wanting to also have a fitness program. So I've started the conversation about her exercise. I asked her how much time she has to commit. She writes back. Notice it's a day or two later. She says, at least an hour. I'm still on the job hunt, so most days I'm at home applying for jobs and working on the new house. So I wrote back, the 21 Day Fix workouts are around 30 minutes, but there takes a few minutes per day to prep meals as well. So 1 hour per day should be more than adequate. Have you heard of the fix? I'm ending with a question. So write that down. End your messages to people with a question. She responds back, I know a few friends who have completed the program and have done a little research on the meal planning piece, but I was worried about being a vegetarian and completing the program. Luckily, I found some yummy meal plans to test out and some ideas on what to do with my protein intake. So I said, yes, they happen to just come out with a vegetarian fix plan. So what I need from you, I'm making another assumption. So what I need from you is an email address and your Shakeology flavor preference, and I can get you enrolled. How many of you would have jumped for that already? Right? I see this right now. So you can maybe make that note to yourself. I made the assumption originally that she was going to be interested, and now I'm making the assumption that she's ready to rock and roll. After all, we're having the conversation about it. I'm spending my time. This is what I do for a living, is help people with their health and fitness. I can only help them if they're in my group. So the conversations that I have are that vibe comes across. It's like, well, are we doing this or not? Right? So I told her, this is what I need from you to get rocking and rolling. And guess how she responded? Woohoo! Let me check out the flavors. Here's my email. Can I do the chocolate vegan? So she writes me back within 2 minutes with her email, her flavor preference. She's ready to rock and roll. Here's another move that I had decided to make. She's mentioned to me that she's unemployed. I've seen through her Facebook posts that she doesn't have a job right now. So I'm asking her one more question. Notice that I'm keeping it very concise. I say to her, yep. Final question, coach account or customer account? No obligation with either. A coach account saves you $18 a month on Shakeology starting in your second month, and it allows you to earn an income if you so choose. So she tells me, let's go with the coach account. That way I have the option. Are there any other differences between the two accounts? So I said, nope. Okay, I'll set it up for you when I get off my call. Let me know when you send it through. She says, perfect. So I send it to her, and she then starts having questions about the coach account. Okay, keeping it real with you guys. She writes me back. She says, hey, Jenny, I'm working on finishing my enrollment, and after reading through your email and some information, can I switch over to the customer account? Sorry to be such a pain. So I said, no worries, happy to do so. Just wondering what you read to change your mind. I can make the switch via enrollment pretty easily. So she said, just the monthly fee, and I don't know that I want to establish the business side of things. I'm not ready to do that yet. So I need to honor where she is right now, right? I'm not going to argue her anymore. I'm going to adjust it for her. So I said, sure, no problem. Just to clarify, even with the monthly fee, it's still a savings of $18 per month. And there's zero pressure to work the business. My mom has been a coach merely to save her on her Shakeology for 5 years. Would you like for me to switch it? So I've confirmed for her, I'm confirming with her she wants me to switch it. She says yes. So I said, done. Just start over from the new email. So then she writes me back, I'm all set up. And then I added her to the group. That was on October 14th. She starts posting in the group, sharing about how much she loves Shakeology. So a week later, I message her back and I say, welcome to the Shakeology addiction. She says, thanks. I'm not going to lie. I was surprised by how good it was. As I'm sure Chris did back in the running days, Joe drank some really gross protein drinks. Did I see that they are coming out with a coffee flavor? So I say, yes, we talk about that. Then I follow up with her again about 3 weeks later. I say, are things going well? Because I know she's about ready to have her Shakeology shipped again. She says, aside from Saturday, things have been going great. Going to try to squeeze in 2 workouts tomorrow for fun. I give her some encouragement. I then say, hey, I wanted to loop back around and say, 1, great job with the group. I'm so glad you're liking your Shakeology and your workouts. 2, let me know if you're ever interested in upgrading to a coach account. It saves you around $20 a month. Always like to remind folks, especially once they know they're hooked. Plus, in all honesty, I know you'd make a great coach if you choose to work it as a business. Tell Joe I said hi. She writes back, thanks. I fizzled out a bit at the end, but still got in my daily shake. I should be putting in a new order soon. So I'm realizing at this moment that she doesn't realize that her order is auto ship. So I inform her, hey, FYI, you're actually getting an auto ship order. You don't have to order anymore. So she says, oh, okay, never mind. Then I follow up with her again. So notice that was November 9th. I've been supporting her in the challenge group. I've been cheering her on. I've been checking my Coach Online office. I know she's ordering her Shakeology every month, sometimes 2 bags. I'm assuming that Joe is also drinking it. So I sent her a message February 2nd to see how things were going. She responded saying she's having a little injury issue, asked me about our trip to Florida. We have a little, small talk. And then this week I messaged her. I sent her an invite to our coach sneak peek. I just went to the invite button on the event page and added her to the invite. And within about 30 seconds, she responded as going. So I sent her a message and I said, hey, pretty lady, hope you guys had a great Easter. I sent you an invite to our team's Facebook event tonight where we're sharing some details on coaching. I hope you can make it. As you know, because I've already told her, I think you'd make a fantastic coach, even if it was just a hobby. Also a great way to save on your shakes. And then she gets on the actual event, and I don't know if you guys remember her name, but she commented on every single post that was made in the sneak peek. And by the end of it, she was ready to rock and roll. So the very last post she commented on said, Jenny, please reach out to me tomorrow. I think I'm ready to get started as a coach. So then my last message to her was yesterday, where I sent her a message and said, thanks so much for taking time to be on the sneak peek. Let's chat when you're ready. So I'm fully anticipating being able to sign her as a coach this week. So do you see how this conversation started in October and we've now evolved to coach? Now here's what I also want to point out. If I would have pushed her into a coach account back then, do you think she would have ever worked the business? Maybe not, right? Like she would have felt a little ickier. It wouldn't have been her timing. So make sure that this is all happening on your customer or coach's timing, not on yours. Okay, so that was important for me because now I feel like she's a legit customer. She loves her Shakeology. She's witnessed our team in the sneak peek and through the challenge groups. The best coaches were challengers first. I feel confident that she's ready to take on the challenge of being a great coach. Okay, so here's the third one I'm going to show you. I hope these are helpful, and if they're not, just sign off line and then I'll just know that nobody cares. But okay, so did I spell her name wrong? Yep, here we go. This particular person, I plugged this one in here because I met her through a Facebook group. So I was added to this, which is kind of funny because I'm not a runner, but I got added to a Tough Mudder Facebook group. Actually, I don't know how it happened, but the guy knew that I was a trainer and he added me to the group and asked me to create a 5-move workout, like crunches, planks, whatever. So I did that. And then some people friended me on Facebook. She was one of them. And she's also a trainer, has her own like page, has her own following in fitness. So let's see. She reached out to me February 20th saying, hey lady, I've heard about you from Karsten. She's asking me questions about my like page. She said something about, did you create 2 Facebook pages? And also who did your photography for your workbook? It's beautiful. So she reached out to me, but this is actually after I had been posting on some of her posts. She'd been posting some sweaty selfies and fitness type of posts. So we had some interaction, socially out there on Facebook, but not privately. So I responded to her. I answered her question. I told her I'm happy to connect her with my photographer. And then I asked her, where does she live? And she wrote back, thanks, that's helpful. I'm trying to decide if I need to make a personal or professional one, since there are some things I'm not necessarily wanting to cross-share all the time. I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee. Husband is active duty, so I may be too far away for a local contact, but I love his work. So we're talking about my photographer. So then I tell her, since you're working on your like page, I'm going to offer value to her because I feel like I have something to help her with. So I said, hey, I learned about my like page through Amy Porterfield. I recommend listening to her podcasts. You're a trainer, right? So I'm asking a question to keep the conversation going. She says, yes, I have my own business, which draws a different crowd than Beachbody, but primarily I'm a certified health coach, so I approach it from that perspective. I have to admit, you're one of the only Beachbody coaches that I actually like and respect. You put out great information and encouragement to people, and I enjoy reading your posts. If someone were interested in finding a coach, I would point them to you because I would have trust that they would get the guidance they need. So that made me feel really good, right? That's a really nice comment. So then she says, not to knock your organization, I've just met several coaches that don't coach or practice what they preach, and it's great to see that there are those out there. So I said, absolutely. Then she said, thanks for talking with me. I'd be excited to read your ebook. I tried to sign up for it, but I lost the link. So then I told her how to subscribe, small talk. And then I said, because I really felt a little bugged by her statement about coaches, because as you know, I love everybody. So I love all coaches. So I had to kind of stand up for Beachbody. So I said, hey, as for coaching, I've found that those who are successful are those who truly care about helping people and about adding value to others. Those who are in it for themselves typically don't last and often give us a bad rep. Thanks for subscribing. So I just had to let her know that, there are bad people and good people in everything. And so she wrote back, yes, unfortunately, I think that's true in our field in general, not just Beachbody. Keep doing what you're doing. You rock. I could have ended the conversation here, but I didn't. So we fist bump. We're starting to, now it's like we're best friends. We're emoji fist bumping through Facebook Messenger. So we're pretty much sisters. So then I'd even tell her, that's my favorite emoji. And then she says, we should chat. That's like, that moment in Step Brothers. Have you guys seen the movie Step Brothers, where they finish each other's sentences? They're like, favorite movie. And they finish each other's, and then they say, did we just become best friends? That's kind of how I felt in this moment with her. I feel like we were like, whoa, did we just become best friends? She says, we should chat whenever you have time. I love to gain knowledge from passionate professionals. So I said, I'd love to. And then she said, I love that your hubby's involved too. Maybe one day when active duty is behind us. So then we talk a little bit about the military. She tells me he's in the Army. I tell her, what a sacrifice. Kudos to you. I talked about Hersha, who's one of our coaches, and how she's back from her 4th tour. And then I tell her, she says, she's a brave lady. Thank you. Really, it's him. I'm just along for the ride. Still having small talk about the military. And then I told her, actually, you know what? We should connect through Zoom. Have you heard of it? So I'm wanting to talk to her face to face. And she says, yes, that sounds great. And then we try to set something up. We couldn't find a time, saving you some time here. We couldn't find a time to work it out. And she was going out of town. So we decided we would reconnect. So Monday, for the sneak peek, I went to that invite button on the event page. I clicked invite and I invited her. Within about 3 minutes, she responded that she was going. This was the second person that I decided to reach out to. So then I sent her a private message. We still need to connect. I haven't forgotten. I just sent you an invite to our team's Facebook event. I normally don't blindly invite people to our live look at coaching, but because I know that you'd be a rock star, I invited you. I know you've mentioned hesitations, but just in case it's ever crossed your mind, I've got your back. She wrote back, thanks, I appreciate it. I'd love to join in sometime. Tonight is my last night with the Hubs before he leaves up for a month for training. So then I told her, enjoy your time with him. The event will actually stay live for a couple days so you can check it out later. She said, thanks, girl. I hope you have a great time. Oh, awesome. I'll definitely check that out. So I'm ready to follow up with her. I've given her a couple days since Monday. I'm ready to follow up. So hopefully this conversation was also beneficial. This was somebody that I did not know. We had a common interest, met each other through a Facebook group, and that is kind of where we are right now. So last but not least, this is a challenge pack customer. I hope this is the right. I have 3 friends who are all named Sarah Miller. I hope this is the right one. Okay. So I met this girl also ironically at my cousin's wedding. I did not plan that. That's kind of weird. But anyway, I did meet her at my cousin's wedding. I sent her a message kind of like I did with Melissa, and I said, great meeting you. Maybe we'll see you again during the holidays. She responded, and then I told her we'll have to keep in touch. So then March 3rd, she messages me out of nowhere after I made a post about a challenge group. And she said, hey, Jenny, I don't know if you remember me or not, but we met at Laura's wedding. I'm reaching out because I'm interested in trying Shakeology. Is there a way that I can try it without first committing to a 30-day bag? Do you have any recommendations for getting started with it? I want to try it out and see if it will help with my energy level. I'm at a point where I'm always feeling tired and like I'm running on too little sleep, even if I've gotten 8 hours of sleep. I'm looking for new things to try to address that feeling of tiredness that I'm fighting through every day. So she's already told me she's interested in Shakeology. She's also given me her reason for why she needs it. So my questions regarding it are a little limited because I already kind of know what she's interested in. So I wrote her back and I said, hey, Sarah, thanks for reaching out. Yes, there is a way to try it. Are you simply wanting to try a particular flavor? As for getting started, the shake itself is best blended with ice, a milk of choice, and any ingredients that you might want to add. While Shakeology doesn't have caffeine, so it won't give you a burst of energy like a Monster would, it is chock full of superfoods to get your body a daily dose of dense nutrition to keep you focused. I most definitely notice a difference if, for some reason, I don't have my shake. It may not be noticeable with just one sample, but hundreds of my customers would attest to its powers. What are you up to these days? Seems like yesterday when we were at Laura's wedding. Time certainly flies. Again, I'm ending with a question, and prior to that, I have addressed her need, which is energy, right? So then she writes me back. The best way to go would be a sampler pack so I can pick a flavor I like. I don't drink caffeine or energy drinks, so I'm hoping that getting that dense nutrition will help. I'm also a vegetarian, so it's likely that I'm nutrient deficient on things like protein or iron, so I think something like Shakeology could really help balance out my diet. I think I would also be interested in one of your 21-day fix groups. Wow, yay, this is one of those like hot prospects, right? Like somebody who's like pretty much ready to rock and roll. She then says, I actually have the 21-day challenge kit, but I haven't used it since I got it several months ago. Perhaps the group aspect will help me get more motivated. Time does fly. I've been busy in DC, ready for warm weather. So then I said, absolutely, the sampler pack is a great option. Or, of course, you can order the triple combo pack. How many of you guys would have gone there? Yep. So she's told me she wanted a sample, and I'm telling her, well, we do have a sample pack option, but we also have a triple combo pack where you can get 24 packets of 3 different flavors, which, as we all know, are the most popular flavors, right? She could do like that barista challenge pack, which is chocolate vanilla cafe latte, or she could do the strawberry vanilla chocolate. I would rather somebody get set up on that than a sampler pack. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna make that assumption, knowing that I can retreat back to the sampler pack if I need to. So I told her the sampler pack is a great option, or of course you can order the triple combo pack, knowing that there is a 30-day money back guarantee. Regardless, we should get your account switched over so that I'm your coach. We can do that with an email or by using a new email on your order. Our groups are amazing, truly. They are where the magic happens. We offer sample meal plans, accountability and support, form and technique tips, but mostly people get to know each other on similar journeys. The results are amazing. We run the groups twice monthly so that we always have one going. Are you still working the same job in DC? I can't wait for spring weather. She wrote back, what's the price of the sampler pack versus the triple combo pack? Is the triple combo a 30-day supply of those 3 flavors? Should I just send you my email address to get it switched over? I'm not sure if I've ever created an account because I didn't get the 21-day fix pack through the website. Maybe I'll be able to start one with you as my coach for Shakeology. Lots of questions. Well, I definitely want to join the next 21-day fix group whenever it starts. Do you know when the next one will be? And then she answers my question about living in DC. So I write back, Chris and I have actually contemplated visiting DC. Would you believe I've never been there? Crazy. I believe the sampler pack is $30 and it includes 5 flavors. The triple combo pack is 24 packets for 130. You guys in your mind right now, I know, are thinking, wow, why would she ever opt for the 130, right? But I went there, I made the assumption. So I said, if you didn't get the fix through Beachbody, there's no reason to have to switch anything. Regarding my fix group, we require that our customers purchase a challenge pack, fitness program plus Shakeology combo, in order to enter our groups. Since you already own the fix, perhaps another program might interest you. I would definitely recommend going the combo route versus just Shakeology. The deal is simply amazing. Right now, we're offering Shakeology and PiYo for $140, which is obviously just $10 more than your Shakeology alone. Purchasing that would also get you into my group, and it would get you another program in your library. To do so, I would just need your email to generate the enrollment. So we started off with her wanting to try a flavor, and we're gonna end up, right, with a challenge pack enrollment and future coach. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So she said, you should definitely plan a trip to DC. Are there different challenge groups for each program? For example, if I purchase the Shakeology with PiYo, then I'd be part of that group. I'm leaning toward that option, but I wanna make sure I understand how the challenge groups work. So I told her, once you buy a challenge pack from me, you're welcome to join both groups. So she said, got it. That was the seal of the deal. Got it. In that case, I will try out the PiYo challenge pack. My email address is blah, blah, blah. And then I told her, great, I've generated the order. Let me know when you send it through. And 2 hours later, she had sent the order through. I then added her to both groups. She's been participating in both groups. And then of course, I'm following up to make sure she got her packs in the mail and that she's enjoying those groups. So very soon, I'll be following up with her about upgrading to a coach account. So those are the conversations that I wanted to show you guys. Those are just ones that I could find that were most recent in my messenger. But what I'd like to do is unmute you in case you guys have any questions about them. Hopefully you guys took some notes or learned something new. If nothing else, I hope you know that you got to keep it casual and be a human in these conversations. I hope you also took the fact that you should always assume full interest. Okay, and you have to educate the person to that full interest. If for some reason they hesitate or retreat, then you just have that sampler pack or the customer account instead of coach account in your back pocket. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I'm gonna try to figure out how to unmute everybody. I just unmuted everyone, so that's probably a bad idea. So mute yourself if you don't have a question, but if you do have a question, please chime in and let me know what that question is. I'm happy to answer. Okay, no questions, huh? You guys are quiet. Give me a thumbs up if you felt like that was helpful. Okay, good. You're not just making me feel good. Okay. Jacqueline, how do you like your glass shaker bottle?
I love it.
I saw you shaking it as I was talking.
It's kind of weird. I don't know that it's as effective as the plastic ones, but I love that it's glass, so I'm willing to compromise a little bit.
I've been using it for, I put my hydrate in there, and then I put my recover in there, and then I put my shake in there. So I'm like triple purposing it before I wash it.
Yeah, I'm being refreshed.
Yay. Nice.
So it works for that too. I like it.
Very nice.
I love those conversations. I love that you shared a lot of how you kind of do go, straight in for the kill, I guess you could say. But I think it really speaks volumes that people respond really positively to that, because I'm always scared of coming across too salesy, but I know that there's people that's interested. So I guess I just have to be bold and believe that they'll find value in them too.
Absolutely. Yeah, and when I was first starting, there was certainly not everybody was, I would sometimes get people who were a little skeptical. Like I hadn't quite built that credibility in myself yet. So I did have a little more resistance than I do now. If I had the ability to access conversations from 5 years ago, I would have shown you one. But I think it's important to just keep your integrity as a coach. Like, keep the integrity of what you have to offer with that challenge pack and the challenge group. You could see that in that example with Sarah Miller, the fact that I told her, well, I'm happy to set you up with Shakeology. I mean, I would have happily set her up with a sampler pack had we gotten there, had that been the best solution for her. But the best solution for her was she needed the accountability, she needed the support, and she wanted Shakeology anyway. So I feel that I gave her the best solution for her issue. I feel like the challenge pack was the best way for her to go versus spending $30 on a sample pack and then $130 on her Shakeology. She spent $140. She saved $20 and got way more for her money. So I think sometimes we're really hesitant, especially new coaches. We're like, well, what if they can't afford it, or what if they don't this, or what if they don't that? Stop telling yourself all the assumptions that you want to make about that person or their objections, and instead wait for the objection to actually happen. So assume interest and assume that they're ready to rock and roll. And if they retreat, then you deal with that as it comes. So so I think that, I know that you're just getting started, and in the beginning, there's going to be people who are like, what is she doing? And they're going to try to just rain on your parade. But those are few and far between, and it's more important to be helping the people who come to you and who you're talking to. So as you can see, it is my personal initiative to do better about reaching out to people. I was talking to an elite coach this week. They were asking me about how I handle my power hour, I think is what they asked. And so I told them, and I didn't say anything in my power hour about inviting. And the person responded to me and said, well, when do you do your invites? And I responded and said, I don't. For the last 2 years, I've built my business on what I like to call attraction marketing. I work really hard on crafting really good posts to emotionally connect with people. And a lot of people reach out to me. That's not necessarily something I endorse. I think it's important for you to also be reaching out and having conversations with people yourself. That Melissa Mayman example, the dancer that I showed first, that's an example of me reaching out to somebody to have a conversation and start forming with people. So it's something that I'm working on doing from a cold perspective. I'm kind of used to people coming to me, but I think it's important to be doing both. So there's little vulnerability from me to just share that I think it's important to be reaching out and responding. So I've taken up a lot of your evening. So thank you guys for being on here. Everything's recorded, so I will have it uploaded to the team page tomorrow. Katrina, girl, you've got 2 hours and 9 minutes to make this happen. So are we feeling good? You're feeling good?
Feeling good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to give you a big hug on Saturday and the rest of you on Sunday, because I think I'll be seeing most of you on Sunday. So have a good night, you guys, and thanks for being on here. I will talk to you later.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.